Hey guys, Gaston with Rough Country. Today we're going to be installing our powered retractable bed cover on this 2019 GMC Sierra. Let's go over what's included. First up, we've got the canister that the bed cover retracts into and its cover plate. We've got the tonneau cover side rails, including the control buttons. All our necessary seals, as well as mounting brackets, the unit's motor, as well as its clutch handle and motor cover. We've got all the necessary drain tubes and their hardware, our cable management, as well as all of our cables, our remote fobs, we give you 2 of those, and also a holster so you can keep one at the ready. We've got our Torx and Allen drivers necessary for the install, as well as our hole saw so you can make access points for your drain tubes, and all of our necessary mounting hardware. Our first step is going to be to take our hole saw and make our access points for our drain tubes. Before we get started, I do want to say that this is specific for the GMC Sierra. Now the overall install is going to be the same no matter what vehicle you have, with the exception of a few measurements and a few mounting brackets. But if you've got a different truck and you've got this cover, watching this video is going to help you install your cover. From the bottom corner of the driver's side, we're going to measure over 3.5 inches and up 4 inches, and that's where we're going to make our 19mm hole. From the passenger side, we're going to measure over 6.5 inches and up 4 inches, and that's where we're going to make our hole. In the rear, we're going to measure up 17.5 inches from the floor and 2.5 inches from the edge of this access hole. And repeat that on the passenger side. Now we're going to make access holes in the plastic bed cap. There are already holes in the metal behind it. We need to take a 1/4 inch drill bit, find those holes, and pop through the plastic to the metal behind it. So our first one should be 10.5 inches from the bulkhead. If you feel behind here, you can feel that there's a hole right there at 10.5. We need to pop our first hole there. I'm gonna set the bracket up there, and that should give us the position for the remaining holes. The hole is here. I've got my bracket in place so I know where I need to drill, and I'm just gonna pop through the plastic. Just like that, right here in the middle. And one more down here on the end. And we'll repeat that on the passenger side. Next up is the installation of our seals. In preparation for that, I've wiped down the surfaces with isopropyl alcohol and the supplied adhesion promoter. Next, we're gonna take our hard seal and attach it to the bulkhead. That's gonna give us a level playing field with our plastic bed caps. From there, we'll add a soft seal across that hard seal, as well as a soft seal down each bed cap. Now we're going to install our soft seal. Now we're ready to install the motor onto the canister. Before we do that, we're going to install the clutch handle onto the motor, and this is going to allow us to spin the motor freely so we can line up the splines of the motor to the canister itself and install with ease. All right, we're gonna look and see the orientation of the receiver, and I'm gonna do my best to line up the splines of the motor to match that, and we're gonna put the motor in place. And look at that, slid right in. Then we're gonna take our 6x1 by 20mm bolts and install the motor onto the canister. Now we're going to install the motor cover. To do that, we're going to uninstall temporarily this bolt here and this bolt down here. We'll loosen those up, remove them completely, use them to install the motor cover. Put our motor cover in place and reinstall our bolts. The next step is to install the rails onto the canister. To do that, I'm going to move the canister over to the tailgate so I can use my workbench as a second set of hands to hold the rails once they're installed. We're going to lift up on the clutch handle to disengage the motor. That way we can pull the cover out some, and we're going to want to make sure that this stopper on the cover is past the stop block on the canister. Now we're ready to install our driver's side rail. Now, the driver's side is the rail that has the open and close buttons on them. We're going to go ahead and get it into place, and we need to slide this block behind this block on the canister. We're going to slide it in and lock it into place. We also need to make sure that the cover slides into the channel and we'll need to lift the seal up to make sure it does so. Now we can attach the rail to the canister with the 6x1 by 20 millimeter bolts. We'll put one here, and one here. All right, now that we've got the side rail installed, we're gonna go ahead and install our canister cover. We will simply lift it into place. The seal goes toward the back and the brush toward the front. We'll drop it into place and make sure our holes line up, which they do. Next, we will take our plastic washer, drop it into place on both holes. Once those are in place, we're gonna take our 5mm by 8mm flat-headed Allen screw, and we're gonna drop those in place and tighten those down with the supplied Allen wrench. And we will tighten down the second one, make sure it's nice and snug. Now we've got little black covers to go over those screws. Simply snap those into place. 1 and 2. And finally, we will peel the backing off of the adhesive on the rear seal and attach it to the bottom of the rail. Now we'll do that on both sides. All right, now we're gonna take our ECU harnesses. We're gonna connect our ECU to our motor, our lights, our switch, our antenna. We're gonna leave the power unconnected right now. Each connection is labeled and also has a unique connector, so you cannot plug into the wrong connector. It's pretty much foolproof. We'll start at the ECU. This comes up to the motor here. This goes to our power. We're gonna leave it for now. And we'll take the second ECU connector, snap it into place, and from there, we'll go to the switch, which is here. We'll go to the antenna, which I believe is here. And there we go. Then we've got our switched LED. And finally, the LED itself. Now we'll grab our cable management, get this tucked up and out of the way, and we'll be ready to move on. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and run our power harness to the front of the vehicle where the battery is. We're gonna come here to this stock plug, pop this factory plug out, and we're gonna route our power harness in and down. And then we'll get under the truck, run it along the frame, up into the engine compartment and across to the battery. With the power harness ran all the way to the battery in the front and zip tied up out of the way, we are ready to set the cover into place. Now I'm gonna set it about 1 foot off of the bulkhead so I can plug the harness into the ECU. Then I will take it and set it into position. You want it as close to that front wall as you can get it without touching. We're probably gonna leave maybe 1/4 inch between the canister itself and the bedside. So let's go ahead, lift it into place, plug it in, and then give it its final resting place. Plug the harness in, and just put it in place. All right, now we're gonna take these blocks and slide them into the bottom side of the rail. They drop in the channel. There's an opening. We'll put them in and slide 2 this way and 2 toward the back. And these are gonna attach our mounting bracket to our rail, and then we will attach our mounting bracket to our bedside. Now that we've got our front bracket attached to our rails, we're ready to attach our front bracket to our bedsides. And to do that, we're gonna use our T40 bolts with a lock washer and a flat washer and a threaded nut plate that's gonna go behind the metal portion of the bedside. I'll show you what I mean. We'll take the threaded nut plate, set it behind, put the bolt through, and thread them in place. We'll repeat that 3 more times after this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do the same on the passenger side. We're still gonna keep these loose so we can finalize the position of the rails and make sure the cover slides in and out without any hesitation. All right, now we're ready to install our rear brackets. These are gonna mount up here on the driver's side. They're gonna use both of these existing holes. On the passenger side, it's gonna use this hole, and then we need to drill a hole. Just like we did on the front bracket, we're gonna take our 6mm T-blocks and slide those into the rail, 2 of those, and then we'll take our bracket and line those up with it. Once we've got our T-blocks lined up, we're gonna take our 6mm bolts, run those through the bracket into the block, and thread those in, but keep them loose for now. We're gonna use our T40 Torx bolt. We're gonna drop the block in, well, not drop it, hopefully. We're gonna set the block in place through the stake pocket, line it up, get it started. And this will work better if you have small hands, which I do not. All right, see it through the hole? I do. And attach. Now we're gonna take our second T40 bolt and our serrated flanged nut. We're gonna go in through the stake pocket again with the nut and attach at this location. For the passenger side rear bracket, we're gonna set it into place and we're gonna mark where we need to drill. And again, we're gonna take our 6mm T-channel blocks, put those in through the opening and slide them into place. And then we'll take our 6mm bolts and attach the bracket to the rail. Upside down, trying to stay out of the camera shot. And just like the driver's side, we're gonna attach it using the T40 Torx, the threaded nut plate, and the serrated nut. All right, now we're gonna check to make sure that our rail spacing is even for ease of operation. We include a calibration bar in the box. You're simply gonna slide it into the rails, slide it in at an angle, and then bring it plumb and make sure that you've got free movement and it's not tight. And as you can see, we've got good movement all across the rails. So I've got confidence now. I can go ahead and tighten everything down and we'll be one step closer to finishing the installation of this cover. Now we're ready to install our drain tubes. Up front, the canister has 2 locations that we're gonna screw in this adapter. Then we'll take this bellow hose, attach it, tighten down our hose clamp, and finally insert this end of the bellows into the hole we drilled into the bulkhead. Out back, this hose attaches to the nipple on either rail, then slides into the hole that we drilled on the back side. Now we will have to remove each tail light to route this hose down to make sure that the water is reaching the ground, but that's no big deal. We'll knock that out quickly. Now we're ready to install the cover plate, then we'll install the fuse and we'll be ready to test out the unit. And that's all it takes to install our powered retractable bed cover. Get yours today at roughcountry.com.